Right. So let's talk a little bit more about the pleasure trap specifically, what that is. You co-authored this book, seminal work with Doug Lisle. I've seen his TED Talk. I've seen him give his presentation many times on this subject. And that really, elucidates this dysfunctional relationship with food and why it is from an evolutionary and psychological perspective.
Well, there's this idea of dopamine is a neurochemical associated with pleasure. And there's two behaviors critical for human being survival, and that is food and sex. You have to get enough to eat in order to be able to sustain yourself, and you have to engage in enough sexual behavior so that you can pass on your genes and the whole process can start over again. So it's not surprising that food and sex are heavily reinforced. And the way the brain reinforces the body's behavior is by rewarding us with dopamine, which is the neurochemical associated with pleasure. So the more dopamine, the more pleasure. The more dopamine, the better the food tastes. And so you react to food in response to largely caloric density. The higher the caloric density, the more valuable it is in this environment of scarcity in which we evolved. And so the higher caloric density foods tend to be more reinforced, more dopamine, better tasting. So what we've done as humans, we're innovative creatures. We said, if a little good, a lot's better. Let's figure out a way to make the food taste even more special by increasing its caloric density. And we do that by adding things like oil and sugar to the food. And as a consequence, we like it better. And if that's what you get used to eating, that's all you like. And eventually people get to the point they really don't like the taste of simple, whole, natural foods anymore because this hyper drug-like stimulating effect of the more concentrated foods is more appealing. So we literally become addicted. For example, if you want to neuroadapt to a lower salt or lower fat diet, it actually takes time in order for the body to go through that adaptation. We can speed it up with fasting, but the bottom line is there is a period of adaptation where food doesn't taste good. If you eat whole foods and you're used to eating highly processed foods, it's not that appealing. Now, over time, you adapt, and then the body gets to the point where you like the simpler foods again.
Yeah, people have a hard time believing that you adapt. There's this baked-in assumption that you're staring down the pipeline of a lifetime of drab foods that are unappealing, and you're just going to have to tolerate it.